Good afternoon, 4 to 6 facilitators. If you're watching this video, it's because you are either new to our 4 to 6 area team or this is your first time serving. So welcome. I'm going to give you some logistics because 4 to 6 is a little bit different than the other classes, and I just want you to feel prepared, and you'll have these logistical reminders sent to you each week when you serve. So just as normal, you're not going to go in the front door of the church. When you come to serve, you're going to go in the side door of the church. At that point, you will find a person that has a red name tag. That is our coordinator. They will have a clipboard and they will mark off that you have arrived. This helps us to know that everyone is there before family checkout begins at 9:45. So they're going to check you in, and then you're going to print a name tag for yourself. After you print your name tag, you're going to go up the stairwell to the second floor, because all of our 4 to 6 activities and classes are on the second floor. And you're going to come straight to this cabinet. You will see when you open the cabinet, there are 3 bottom shelves. There are 3 4 to 6 classes, and they're all distinguished by color. So there's a red class, a blue class, and a green class. You're going to find your shelf for your class, and you can put any of your personal belongings, your keys, a water bottle that you don't want to have to take around in the morning while you're serving. And you're going to take a walkie-talkie off of your team shelf. Now, if you're not sure what team you're on, especially the first time you come to serve, look on the name tag that you print for yourself. It will have your team name on it. You will take the walkie-talkie off the shelf. The outside knob is the volume.
Power on. 16.
And you'll hear she says 16. 16 is the channel that we use for all of our children's discipleship walkie-talkies. The middle knob is the channel, so if you need to change it,
16.
you can push that. The side of the walkie-talkie that has the orange buttons, the black button on top is the talk button. So when you push and hold that, you'll see a red light come on, and you can hear me talk through the walkie-talkies. So you will take this walkie-talkie with you and go find the room that has your class sign. So again, you're going to use your color class, and you are going to take one of the walkie-talkies. There are 2 facilitators for every class. That's why there are 2 clipboards and 2 walkie-talkies in the shelf. So everyone should have their clipboard and their walkie-talkie as they're going around. You'll see this gives you the basic format of what you'll be doing that day and when you'll be where. Now, the advantage to 4 to 6, you do not have to keep up with time. Someone will come and cue you when it's time for you to go to the next activity. But it is helpful. So when you go in your room with your class sign, you're going to start out during check-in playing with things called welcome activities. When you go in the room, you'll see there's a bin of activities on each table. The kids can come in. When you check them in, you're just going to check that they have a name tag on the front or back of their shirt. You're going to greet the parent and ask them if there's anything that you should know before you guys start the morning. And then the kids can play the welcome activity. Your rosters only have 12 kids, so you will only have a max number of 12 in the room with you. And since there's 2 adults, it's about 1 adult to 6 children. So you guys will play the welcome activities. Now, you will know when it's time to go down to lesson and worship. The teacher will come to your room and tell you, hey, it's time to go down to lesson and worship. So at that point, what you're going to do is take all the activity supplies from that welcome activity, put it in the bin, put the bin on the shelf. There's 3 shelves, 3 bins. You're going to put 1 bin on each shelf and pull the cover over the toys. Basically, we tell the kids we're putting the toys to sleep. The toys will stay asleep because it's time for us to go learn. It's time for us to learn about God and to connect with God and worship God. So like I said, when the teacher comes, you will do that, and then you guys will line up and go down to the lesson and worship room. The lesson and worship room is the room with the blue chairs, the projector screen at the front of the room. You guys will sit together if you can as a class in a row, and the teacher will teach the lesson. During this time, you are mainly there for classroom management, and this at this age is as simple as, if someone's, for example, turning around in their chair, you're going to get on their level and quietly ask them, hey, can you please turn around? Let's give the teacher our attention. While you're in lesson and worship, you will also receive the roster from the coordinator for that morning. The roster is a piece of paper that has all the names of all the kids that are checked in for that morning. You'll see there's also 2 small boxes. There's a check-in box and a check-out box for every child. So at this point in lesson and worship, you want to take the pen on your clipboard and you're going to check off all the kids that you know are checked in with you. If there are any kids in your room that do not appear on the roster, you're going to write their name at the bottom and make the 2 small boxes so you can check them in and check them out. And if there's any kids that are on your roster that are not in the class that day, you want to cross them off. This just shows us at the end of the day who was actually in class with you for the entire class period. Once the teacher is done with their lesson, they will dismiss all 3 classes one at a time to go back to their original room where their signs are. Now, when they go back to their rooms, when you go back to your rooms, every single class at this point in the morning is going to do snack and story. So one of you can read the story while the other one hands out snack. You can give them refills, that's fine. Whatever is in the bin that morning is for you to be able to use. And you want to continue with snack and story. If you finish your story, you can talk to them about the story. You can ask them questions. You can ask them what they remember. But you want to keep going with that until the coordinator comes to tell you it's time for rotations. We all want to start rotations at the same time. So when the coordinator comes, you will start the activity of the room that you're in. So if you're in the craft room, you're going to start the craft. If you're in the game room, you're going to start the game. If you're in the bathroom and catechism room, you're actually at that point going to go down to the bathroom. When you're done in the bathroom, and I'm going to show you at the end of this, I'm going to show you what the bathroom break, the general guidelines are. You're going to go back to your room and do the catechism work for that day. When it's time for rotations, the coordinator will come to the room and tell you, hey, you've got a 2-minute warning. You guys can clean up your supplies. That if there's any kids that have not finished their, usually it's the craft, you specifically can help that child. So help them gather their supplies. Tell them if they want to finish it in the next room, we can totally do that. There's no rush on the activities, and we always want to help them in that transition. In each room, there are a facilitator bin with some general supplies, but there is also 3 colored bins that read red, green, and blue. So say you're in the craft room, hanging on the shelf is the instructions, an example of the craft, and then you're going to pull down your color bin and hand out the supplies for the kids to engage in the craft. So you've got everything you need, the instructions you'll read, the example you can show them, and the supplies for your class already in the class prepared. In the game room, if you're the first ones in the game room, you'll have to look at the instruction sheet to see if there's anything you need to set up to start the game, and then you'll start the game with your class. There's a game bin where the general supplies for the game are, but if there's anything specific for each class that they need, you'll get that out of your color bin. In every, the craft in the game room, there's also an extra craft and game sheet. That is just so that if you finish the activity before rotations, there's something else content-wise that you can do with them to continue to talk to them about the story. The rotations will be facilitated by the coordinator, so always wait for that cue. Once you start seeing adults appear in the hallway, that is the sign that it is time for checkout. So one of you is going to stay with the kids and just supervise their play. One of you is going to take the clipboard with the roster and step into the doorway. The basic procedure when a parent comes to your room is you're going to look at their security tag, call over their child, make sure the security tag matches the name tag, and then you want to take their name tag off and either throw it in the trash or put it on the back of the roster. You should do this for all 12 children. If you have a max capacity class, you want to do this for all 12 children. If the parent has other children to pick up, don't take their security tag. Give that back to them because they're going to need it at another class. But you always want to check the code, make sure it's the same on the name tag, take the name tag off, and release the child. After the entire class has been dismissed, after everyone has been checked out, you can take the Thieves spray. It says disinfecting. It's a essential oil-based disinfectant spray. spray all the surfaces and toys in the class, put all the trash in the trash can and tie up the trash and put it outside your door. The coordinator will come collect all the trash. Take your clipboard, put it back on the thing, make sure the roster is on it. Take your walkie-talkie and put it back on your shelf in the closet, and then you are free to go. I hope that information is helpful. I'm going to show you right now a bathroom, some things about the bathroom break, and then we'll be done. All right, so we are in the upstairs hallway in Children's Discipleship. I'm going to show you where you go and some general things about what you do when it's time for your bathroom break. So you will go line all the kids up in the front door of the classroom when you're going down to the bathroom. You're going to go out past the lesson and worship room, down these back stairs. Now I want you to be aware, you will see when you go past this door, and it has a quiet zone sign. That is because through that door is the sanctuary. So we don't want to be too loud when we're going down the stairs. We will go all the way down the stairs, past the men's room with all the kids, and you will put them on the spots on the floor by the bathroom waiting area. One of you will stand out here in front of the kids. The other one of you will stand right here on the outside of the bathroom. So you can always see each other. This door will be propped because this is the girls' bathroom that has the multiple stalls. You see it has a couple stalls in there. So again, one of you is standing here, one of you is standing there. You will call the kids down the line into the bathroom, and the trick is to say to the children, let's go all try to go to the bathroom. If they're adamant that they don't need to go, that's totally fine. But I would ask them, let's go try, instead of do you need to go? Because most of the time kids will say no, and they actually probably could go. You're gonna stand out here, but you can see the kids going into the stalls. There's a sink here and a sink here for them to wash their hands. Make sure you're watching to make sure when they come out, they're going to wash their hands. And then actually, I recommend at this point that you put the kids back on the spots. We used to use the back staircase, but it's actually a lot easier for you both to stay in this area and to put the kids back on the spots. Once everyone is out of the bathroom and back on the spots, you put one person at the end of the line, one person at the front of the line, and you walk back to your class. And that's it.